Welcome to the Take It Home podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons17. Tonight, I got the best looking tag partner in the world. I'm gonna give him a hot tag. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand and find Country Air on Facebook and Instagram at Country Air Official and Country Air Brand on Twitter. If you see real Country Air on Twitter, please ignore it. I
Zach was trying to be
was
cute.
I was trying to be cool and like update our Twitter to like our birthday being like the day we actually became a tag team. And apparently you can't be 3 years old on Twitter.
Not
And
at
we got
all.
blocked for a while.
There's a lot of penis on Twitter.
Yeah, there was a lot. So it was one of those. I texted Doc. I'm like, get unlocked from Twitter. And then everyone's like, oh, check out customer service. Twitter doesn't have customer service. They give
Its
you fact
customer
sheets,
service is very hard to navigate, but I did
bro.
figure it out.
It was frequently asked questions like that. And I had like I sent them. I had like end up sending them like a picture of my photo ID to make sure like to verify like I am not a 3-year-old child. Like I just wanted to put our debut, learn my lesson. Almost had to make a new Twitter for it. But we didn't. Country Air Brands the Twitter.
Yeah.
Don't do Country Air Real. That was oh shit. We lost everything. Start from scratch.
Yeah. But we back,
But
baby. We still in
yeah,
here.
yes, sir. I did have some fun ideas though. If we were locked out of Twitter for a while, I did have some like promo ideas where I wanted us to go to court and like we're like fighting it with the jury and all that. And then like whenever we got unlocked, I was gonna like have us walking down the steps and stare at each other and be like, "What's going on?" Be like, "Let's go get that verified check mark." They already know who we are. Like it can't be too much harder.
Yeah, after that.
And, like I was talking to Val. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I got some ideas though now. Like if we're still locked out, like some interesting things. Not as interesting as our senior official, who is not on the podcast tonight. He is living the American dream in Japan. It's the weird wrestling American dream. I
Yeah.
want to say like if you talk to like 90% of wrestlers and you ask them where they want to wrestle, they want to go, like wrestle in Japan. They want to wrestle in Corrigan Hall. They want to do like see the Tokyo Dome. It's all that's like great stuff. But yeah, Perch is out there doing his thing. It's super pumped to see like a guy from not just the Midwest, but from our state, the state of Wisconsin, and not even like even close to that guy who like is in our training class. He was there a little bit before Doc, a lot there before me, doing the work. He tells his story about how he got into wrestling. He went to Rise, jumped in the cage, got yelled at. He was one of the fans we hate
Eight, yep.
who just gets in the ring. Like, I'm sorry, like I like you guys, but unless we give you permission, please don't get in the ring. Like, we get yelled at for that shit.
So much, so much.
Like so much.
It's an insurance risk. Please don't get
And,
in the ring.
and if you get hurt, like, yeah, it's just a big deal. But Perch was one of those guys who just saw the cage, saw an opportunity, jumped in, and then he said a week later he's at that camp training. It's always been on the grind. Did the UK a few weeks ago, Japan. Like, it's cool to see one of your own, especially a guy in your close group of friends who you like
Yeah.
fucking rode the roads with, like doing the stuff that like me and Doc want to do. Not we'll be there soon enough, but just seeing the guy get the first chance at the first dip and earn the opportunity. Wasn't there like doing his vacation, just earning it. It's
Yep.
awesome to see.
Yep. I've always been the piece of advice that I heard when I was young that's always stuck with me. If I've seen it, I can do it. So I have seen Perch make it to Japan. That means I can do it as well. That means we can do it as well. So it will be happening. It is one of those goals, but we've got some other
We
goals that we had this year that we gonna hit anyway. So
Bro, yeah, hell yeah. But
it's good to be
I
on this
mean,
podcast.
dear Japan, if you're listening, our gear is designed to your style. Our wrestling moves get yelled at for being to your style. Hi, we're Country Air. Like
Yeah,
the international country.
I'm sure you guys are listening. So just
The
hop in the
20s,
DMs.
the 20s to 50s of listeners.
Fans, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Brother, do you have a banger of the week?
Oh, I actually do.
All right.
I it's um a song that Levy Cruz used in a highlight video against us when we wrestled him in North Dakota.
Yeah, that one was pretty
Called
good.
Real Life Sucks by Judas Bennett.
Yeah.
I don't know what's about it.
Mhm.
It's just like just something catchy about it that I've been enjoying. I've been jamming out to it this whole week. Going to the gym. Doc and I, when we talked about our goals, we have a big goal coming up in 2 weeks. We'll talk about next podcast, foreshadowing. But we're out here in the gym, putting in some cardio, and nothing like listening to a good song while you're like on the elliptical for about 25 to 35 minutes, like wondering why you do this things that you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, have you heard that song?
Yeah, no, yeah, I did hear it in his highlight video. It was, yeah, I enjoyed it. His highlight videos generally do have good music, and yeah, that was a good one that I did notice.
It just always sucks that like I'm very music illiterate, so I hear like I'll see these highlight videos of cool music. I'm like, now I can't do this, and I can think of highlights to do, but I'm not gonna do it because literally, like now I'm just jacking this guy, like
Yeah.
bringing back the old slingo.
Nope, I feel you. I feel you. Oh, snap. You know what we didn't talk about, which I really wanted to talk about?
What?
How was breakfast this weekend, brother?
How was the breakfasts?
Like, we had a weekend off. So, how was your breakfast?
I don't know if I had breakfast. Like
Yeah. Mhm.
I like attended to eat breakfast. Yeah, like it was weird. I texted dude Friday afternoon. Let me tell you how much of a panic I felt. Like I was walking back and forth in my living room, and Val's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I feel like I have to be somewhere right now." It was weird. I texted Doc. I'm like, "What do you?" I'm like, "Hey, so what do we do?"
Just chill out, brother. Just chill
But
out and enjoy the vibe.
I don't think I got breakfast. Maybe I did. I know Val made Jack some confetti pancakes.
Mm.
So I don't think he eats all of them. I think I know I definitely had some confetti pancakes. I don't think I've talked about. So yeah, I did have some breakfasts then.
Okay.
But
Awesome.
I've been like lately, it's not great for the diet. And like for those who don't believe it, I'm taking this shit seriously. Uh I've been craving some biscuits and gravy. Like
Mm.
I've been like wanting to find a spot, but I'm like, man, I just want to get happy where I'm at first. Like very close to where I want to be before in 2 weeks. So like I'm like, I don't want to do it, but like I'm really like, man, biscuits and gravy right now sound like a good thing, and have not had that. But how was your breakfasts?
My breakfast was good. We went on a little trip this weekend. I had we're gonna have to go here next time we're out at Discover Pro, but we went to the Duluth Grill. I had some chicken and waffles, and these were some banging chicken and waffles. It came with a like a habanero peach jelly on top of the chicken. That shit was banging.
That sounds amazing.
It was so good. It had mascarpone cheese on it, which is my first time having mascarpone cheese. I'll
My
probably get
first,
it without the cheese next time. I
this is
don't
my
think
first time hearing of that cheese. So,
it's like it's kind of like a sour cheese.
ooh, I would definitely be telling him no on that.
Yeah. It's like it wasn't bad, but I don't think I need it.
Would you substitute any cheese,
I don't
or
think
would
I would
you?
substitute any cheese because I don't want to take away from that peach habanero jelly. That shit was banging.
All right, see, that's the question. Like, it might be bad cheese, but would
Yeah,
it be
yeah.
a
I don't
cheese
think it
that
was bad
company?
cheese, but I just think, you know what? Let's just focus on this jelly. That shit was banging.
Well, I mean, I guess like it's on Orthodox, but we were talking about our weekends. You want to go on with like the rest of what you've been doing this weekend with your trip and all that?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We can throw break the format, move it all
Call
around.
call it in the ring, brother.
Yeah, yeah. Call it in the ring, bros. We're workers. So yeah, we had the weekend off. So this weekend, me and the lady went up to Duluth and Ellie, I believe is how you pronounce it, Minnesota. Um, we were actually around the corner from Clyde Ironworks. We were like a block and a half away from the venue.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, yeah, where we got our hotel, so that was cool. Um, it's the first time actually getting to like chill in Duluth. Um, so that was fun and actually like see drive around the city a little bit, see what's out there. Saturday we went up to Ellie, Minnesota, and we went to the International Wolf Center. It is like a wolf like conservation rescue facility. Got to learn about some wolves. I took a bunch of pictures that I have not posted yet. We talked about just like the history of wolves in America and how they're an endangered and protected species and such. It was really cool. The only thing, like, if you do it, I would say get there super early or get there or do the late meal eating. We got there kind of early afternoon, and they were basically chilling for the most part until they saw like all of us come in, and then they were like a little curious, but then would just go back to lay down. There was a squirrel they were trying to eat that kept getting away, so that was kind of fun. But yep, just learned a lot about wolves and just their habits and stuff. It was very informative. But what's most importantly is this is a little town. So I guess all the businesses help out each other. So at the end of the presentation for the Wolf Center, they were like, "Hey, if you like to learn more about other things, there's this other like exhibit for like the last Native American in Minnesota who like owned property in that area and like owned businesses. So stuff about her. But on the other side of town, they had a bear rescue. So we went there and saw some bears, and that was actually a bit more fun. The bears were a bit more lively, kind of. We met the youngest one in their group. She was, I guess, raised by dogs. So she has lots of dog qualities, like she knows how to beg, and things like that. So that was very interesting. Like while they're talking and we got there also for their meal time, luckily, because we were the last group. So while they're feeding her, like they feed her their bowl of food, they take it and you just see her sitting there pawing at the cage, trying to get more, and they're dropping snacks. And then we met their oldest one, Lucky, which was just, it's one of those things, like, we're all freaking animals. It was a 25-year-old bear, but just an adorable little old man. Like you
didn't
can
want to deal
see,
with no one.
yeah, like old in his face. Like when we got there, they have these they're in their private pens, and there's like a doghouse that they in their pens, and he's just laying on his side. And they bring him this huge thing of food. He doesn't get up. He just lifts his head up enough while he's on his side to get in there. He like waits until the very last minute to come on out. Just shake his scruff, take a shit, go chill on his log, and not give a fuck. It was just really, it was nice. It was nice. It was just like, yeah, we're all the same. We get old and we're tired of it. We just want to relax.
He's out here. He's like, I gotta put on another damn show.
Yeah. It's like learned a lot about them. Lucky was probably the most interesting. He was raised in captivity. And I guess somebody brought up it was brought up at the wolf place too. It's like, do you guys breed wolves or do you breed bears here? Or are the animals fixed? So at the bear place, there's two guys, two girls. The younger guy, Ted, is fixed. And he's a little aggressive now, so that was their way to calm him down. Lucky is not fixed. And that's because Lucky believes money over bitches. I guess in the entire 25 years that they've had him, he has shown no interest in any female whatsoever.
I don't have time for you girls. I
Yeah,
got time for
like,
this. I'm tired, bro.
no, yeah, they were saying like, yeah, the girl bears have approached him, but he usually just shoos them away and wants nothing to do with them. So Lucky was the most interesting one. Real chill. Playa, wants nothing to do with the hose. It was awesome.
So pretty much like what you're saying is Lucky could be hanging out with us downstairs in the basement playing some Mario Kart or some stuff,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Lucky was definitely a bro. Lucky probably played Mario Kart in his day.
So how close were you able to get to these animals? Like, was it close enough for like the baby ones? You guys could put your like pet them or like what's?
No, they wouldn't let us pet them, but for the bears, because it was, I mean, they were like, it's not, the bears aren't known to attack people, but they are known to pickpocket you. Is the issue? The,
So Lucky's
that's the
out
thing.
here not giving no damn, teaching these
Yeah,
young
so the
ones to
like
rob you.
youngest, yeah, the youngest female one, they were like, so she was also raised by like a human and around she was raised by a human and around dogs for like the first 18 months of her life. Um, so she has a lot of dog traits. She knows how to beg and she's pretty smart. So they walk around with all these pouches that have like food and snacks in them to give to the bears. The bears have figured that out. So like they look in people's pockets, they grab people's phones, they think all of that has snacks. So that's the actual danger. Is that
It's
like
like, yo, yeah, you got some food in your pocket? What's
yeah,
up, bro?
yeah, they're like the bears won't attack you, but they will steal from you, and then you won't be able to get that stuff back.
You know what the worst part is? Like, I feel like if I was to go with Val, that'd be the day that Val brings in some peanut M&Ms and like,
Yeah.
like what the hell, dude?
So yeah, I would definitely recommend if you have to choose between the two, the bear one was more interesting. But there are other options of stuff to do at the Wolf Center that we just didn't do. So you can go for their feeding time. They have other activities. We just probably went at like the worst time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bear Center was awesome. Later that night, we went to a jazz bar, had a couple drinks, an appetizer, and just enjoyed our time together. This is the first vacation we've taken with just the two of us, like not seeing friends and family the entire time we've been together.
I apologize. I probably
No, it's just one of those things where we've got the dogs. Most of our family is on the East Coast, so and she's more so a bigger family person than I am, so she wants to go back to your mother and her sister and all that. So it's just the way that it's worked out. But we made sure we set aside some time to just have some fun with us, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and
Anything Sunday?
Sunday, no, it was just a 5 hour drive back. Um,
Yeah,
we did stop. Oh, I did have breakfast. We did stop at like a little diner in a little shit town there and get some breakfast. Had some steak and eggs. The eggs were really good. I want to say she had some French toast that was pretty freaking good. It was like that little like Friday night lights type of town. Like
nice.
like so it was cool. It was cool. So yeah, explored a little bit of the western side of Wisconsin and Minnesota. It was a fun weekend.
Oh yeah,
And
my
what
weekend
about
was
you, brother? I know Friday was
my weekend was like dad weekend. You know, Jack had homecoming was this weekend for the football. So they had a homecoming parade, and like since Jack's on the football team, he got to be in the homecoming parade.
okay.
So Val and I park all the way at the high school to walk and meet her mom up. Her mom's at the front of they're marching from whatever they're at to the high school. We walked all the way to meet her mom, who's in literally the entrance of the parade. So we walked pretty much the whole parade route. But it worked out because like no, when the moment Jack notices mom, he just starts fucking pelting like candy at us. Like he is whipping this candy at us. And all his friends see him, they're like, oh hell yeah, we're whipping. And they start whipping candy. And we're having all this candy come to us. Val's collecting it on the ground while I'm videoing it. Stuff in my pockets. Like my pockets, I had like three pockets and back pockets, two front pockets. Those were completely full of candy. But like, thank God we had the country air sweatpants on because I had the zippers. So those zippers helped make sure nothing fell. We used my front flannel pocket that was stuffed. Val used her flannel pocket, her bra. Like we had a bunch of candy at us. Like we're in the front out there. I'm like, dude, we have like the best spot. This is where everyone's gonna raid candy. First of all,
Yeah.
so we had a little candy stash. Then as we had to walk back to the high school to meet Jack up. So on the way back, the spots we found more candy. And if it was like, a Reese or something, we bent over and picked it up. If it was like a bubble gum thing, we didn't. Like we didn't, our backs are old. We didn't pick it. It was
Yeah. You gotta weigh the candy value versus back pain. I feel you.
yes, sir. And then like after that, like after the game, like we went just hung out at the house. Val was like a little bit under the weather this weekend, so it was more like just chilling out. Saturday, nothing really. Like went to the gym in the morning, but then Jack had a football game, so he does both seventh and the eighth grade. So seventh grade was at 5:30 p.m. and then eighth grade was at like 7 p.m. So was like there from like 5 to like almost 9 o'clock. Um, Jack's team lost, unfortunately, both times, but he made good plays. And that one of his teammates, the last play of the game, had 3 defenders on him, went deep in the end zone, did a one-handed catch over all 3 defenders and got a touchdown. Did
Oh,
not win them the game, but it was
but it
super.
was
It
awesome.
was like it was really good. We all were like, "Oh hell yeah!" It was super cool to see. After that, we went to Wendy's to try to get Jack some food. They didn't accept card. When we
Ooh,
went to McDonald's, it's 9 o'clock. McDonald's was closed.
ooh.
It was like, man, there was no good choice for food. Ended up getting Jack some Culver's, hung out. Sunday, we went over to Dis's house, watched a little bit of the Green Bay Packer game. I didn't realize I ended up getting booked because Eli and Max were there and they wanted to wrestle. They had the WWE belt, but you have to hold it sideways because Eli's promotion. I went undefeated. I'm like 5-0 right now. So Sunday was nothing but beating up kids, and I'm the world champion of his promotion.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
definitely
take
turned
any and all gold.
exactly. Max was like, "Country or doesn't cheat," and I was like, "Well, you don't know what we do on some promotions because
Yep.
Max
Like, you do not
Max
see us all the time.
Max stole my belt. Max steals the belt, and I'm like, "That's cool. You can hold it, polish it for me, kid. Like I won it." So he like comes up with this plan with Eli to try to screw me over, and then Eli tells me he's like right when you slap a submission, we're calling the bell. So I hooked Max up in a CrossFit.
Wait, they try to Montreal you.
No, they tried Montrealing me, but ended up Montrealing Max because right when I hooked that submission on Max, Eli rang the bell, and then Max is mad. So then Max drew up a contract, a death match. So I was like, no, we ain't going to do this. So I wrote up a new contract, and I taught these little kids how to read a contract because they both signed it. And it said, "Champion's advantage death match. Challenger cannot cheat to win. Champion gets all the no disqualification." He's like, "Wait." I'm like, "You signed it."
His promotion is a lot more interesting than 95% of the promotions out there.
Yeah, I'm the world champ. So
Like,
like,
I'm intrigued.
yeah, I'm the world champ. So,
Montreal screw job on day one.
bro, that
Reverse
was
the
at
screw
the
job.
and the worst part is like I beat Eli for the belt. Like I whooped his ass for the belt. Pinned him, and then he like helps me with the screw job, like because he's the GM. So, and the worst part is he's like, "Hey, Max, get out of the room real quick." And Max's like, "All right." And then he's like, "Hey, Max wants me to screw you over, so we're gonna screw him over." And he's like, "Slap a submission on him." I'm calling the bell, and I was like, "All right, kid." Like,
These kids know their wrestling history.
yeah. And then they this weekend of wrestling history preview for the Halloween show that we won't be out. They were asking me pointers on some things, and that's all I'm going to say. But they were crisping up their Halloween costumes.
Very nice. Very nice.
But yeah, 5-0. So I won a belt this weekend.
Somebody put in work.
Promoter did not let me take the belt home for a puppy pick.
Mm,
I think it's a little bit BS, but I won the belt and kept the belt. We'll call it the West Dallas screw job.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's just nice to be the guy on the other end.
Yeah, it's good to be Shawn Michaels.
Yes, sir. Like I was like, I'm glad he's Brett and I'm Sean. I walked out. And then Eli like wanted his belt back, so he traded me a phone for it. And it ended up being Max's phone. So like because Max is all pumped, like, haha, you gave away your belt. And I was like, haha, it's not my phone. And he was like, wait, give me my phone. I'm like, you have to trade me something. So he had to bring me back the belt and trade me back the belt for the phone.
Like,
I
I
was
want to
like,
wrestle for these kids.
how are you guys like gonna try to hood rat a hard hitting hood rat?
Very nice, very nice. Oh, you know what? I think that's a good place to go into. Did you watch any wrestling this week? Since apparently these kids are watching what is that? Survivor Series 97? 6?
I think so. Yeah, it's 97. I want to say I could be completely wrong though. Hmm. I don't feel like I watched that Elevation because I watched MSP versus Private Party.
Ah, yes, 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 yes.
I watched that Elevation, Private Party, and MSP was the match that stuck out. MSP is another tag team in the scene. They were on the PWI top 50 last year. I think they were at number 50. Like they just broke it that year. Um,
They are
they got
cool
that.
guys. Recommendation to any tag team: Wednesday, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. There is a space on Twitter that we all just talk about tag team wrestling, shoot the shit. Those
I,
guys are the hosts, and it's been a good couple weeks to just know everybody everywhere is dealing with the same shit.
do you jump in on that or do you just listen?
I jump in on that.
So I could jump in on that.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's literally like it's all people like you recognize, like Sydney Von England, and Irving West from the Creeps from when we were at Paradigm. They're always in there. A lot of names have been in there, like Pero and fucking had a couple of WWE guys have been in there occasionally.
Like
So
I've listened to a few of them, and like a couple of the times, like I've had gone off on my phone on a Wednesday night here talking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
no, yeah, it's just like
But
it's just an open discussion. This week there was a fan in there and he was, talking just about things from a fan perspective. So it's just
right, that's kind of cool to know. Like, I think it would always be cool to talk to them about wrestling. So like, I listen to it, but like not probably as thorough as I should, but like good to know. Like at least you're jumping in, telling them about like how much we suck compared to everyone else.
no, yep, everybody feels that way. We were talking about things we hate this past week. Big thing was like was shooting to your part to the partner's side, which yeah, we always try to be aware of. But something that we haven't run into that apparently all these other guys have run into is shooting into the opponent's corner.
We have not done that yet.
Like we have not run into that. We have not done that. Yeah. Like that
All right,
was and
pull the pull the curtain apart back a little for the young tag team that's listening, that wants to be a tag team, that somehow looks up to us. I first of all, I apologize.
yeah.
Second of all, listen to commentary. We talk about dividing the ring in half. You
Yeah.
divide it in half, that means you don't shoot it to the opposite half. You don't choke them on the opposite half, and you sure as hell don't throw them in the corner of the opposite half.
Yeah, like how many people are saying like this has happened to him? I was like, wow, this
You
is
want to know something? Like, now that you say that, I'm not gonna say I don't know what the match was, but it was on AEW where I saw someone get shot into the corner. I don't know if MSP was talking, if MSP brought that up. It might have been them. I know there was a match where they shot him into the corner. No, it wasn't MSP. It was like this other guy, and it worked out because the name like ended up like big dog and the guy and like showing that he was a big guy. So like it
yeah,
made
yeah. Like
somewhat sense.
and we did talk about that. Like, yeah, there are the big no's unless you have a good reason and it suits the story of the match. But
Yeah, and like
but
they had that.
99% of the time, don't do that.
Yeah, and like they did that, and like I was like, all right, I can accept this. But like when he shot him off in that corner at first, I was like super annoyed. I'm like, I was like, I hate that. Like I absolutely hate that. I mean, I hate it when a guy like gets close to you. Like I don't want to say much, but there's things that like I know that are happening that I do for certain reasons, just so we don't look dumb.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, we were talking about things like that. And that was what I brought up is just like when you're wrestling, it's mostly tag teams that don't tag team wrestle a lot, and you have to dummy proof. You have to protect them from themselves.
And that's another thing, young tag teams who still are listening to this and haven't tuned out yet. If you know things are happening and you know it's going to be weird, there's ways to work around that apron that makes it not weird.
Weird, yeah. You can,
It makes it make sense.
yeah,
Just don't do it too late.
yeah. There's four other people in that ring, with including the ref. Like, if you guys working together, like you can fix these little mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good conversation. But MSP and you watching AEW's.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like, not a lot of rest. Oh, I finished out All Out, like watching Jericho and Hangman.
Oh, okay.
I get there going long. Like, I did it at the gym, and like I realized, like, I'm not like I like slow paced wrestling sometimes, but I wasn't like into it at the gym. Like,
Mhm.
I like fast paced, like hard hitting matches while I'm working out. Something that I could stop and be like, oh, but if it's slow pace and all that, I
Mhm.
get the purpose. I do respect the art. I do like there are good matches that slow pace, but that was this one. I was like, I'm not
It
into this
wasn't for
one.
you. I
Yeah, it
think
was.
I enjoyed that one because I feel that's probably one of the best looking Jericho matches for him doing all of his old callbacks.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed
Like,
it a lot. Like I enjoyed because there's a point where Jericho's just standing there and Hangman's on the apron and Hangman does his running shooting star and Jericho's watching.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's stupid. But Jericho called me a cobra. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Like,
Yeah. So there's a lot of like, yeah, he did a lot of things that I enjoyed Jericho in that match a lot, is I think was my enjoyment from it.
yeah, I'm not
But
saying it was a
I
bad
do
match by
understand, yeah.
all. I was like, oh, like this isn't what I want to watch when I'm doing like because I did watch that Saturday. I was on the elliptical, like preparing for like what we talked about.
Mhm.
And like I was doing like a 20 minutes on 25 minutes. I saw the match was 40. I'm like, cool, this will be the whole match. And it was a lot of it was like I'm like going on my phone looking for
And
like
I
tag
do
highlights.
think like, people give AEW a lot of shit for going too fast, but I do think that specific pay-per-view had a lot of similar slow-paced start matches. Um,
Yes, like I
like
watched Pat
really, like the
versus
girls
Omega.
four-way was one of the ones that broke that. They started out pretty hot. The tag match, obviously,
The Young
even
Bucks had
that started pretty slow because that's that big little formula, that very big and little formula. So
uh, I
keep really
forgot like
pushing.
how huge of a pop LAX got when they showed up. Ortiz, I was like, man, like I forgot. I remember like watching that too and being like, holy shit, they're here. And then
Mhm.
like you forget that like, oh, they're about to freaking they haven't even been on TNT yet. They're still not even on TV at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like JR Rob, he's like, they haven't been wrestling in a few months. I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah, they disappeared from Impact at that time.
well no, like everyone, like they even brought up Jericho and like Hangman, like they haven't been because like AEW just formed, and I think this is
Yeah,
like the second pay-per-view and like it was a few months apart. So it's like they don't even have like a champion yet.
yeah. Which I did
And I think that
appreciate.
yeah, it was like yeah, definitely cool to watch. I mean, it's crazy to watch like Sean Spears where he was. Like that's a guy who I want to see like get back to where he was because when he
Which
cracked
I
Cody,
think when we get into our topic, I think as the wrestling landscape changes, those guys might get their chance again.
yep, I'm foreshadowing, but I'll let you talk about what you watched first.
I watched some Dynamite, which was good. That last hour was very good. I didn't catch the first hour. I still got to freaking watch that. I watched a couple of our matches went up on the YouTubes.
Oh, I
Um,
watched our match from Below Zero.
Yep. So I watched our match from Below Zero. I watched my match from RPW, and I watched our match from Wrestling Taco against the Caribbeans. Also, I watched a new and up and coming tag team, Theory of Asian Unity. Two guys out of the Thumper's Den. They had their debut tag matches last weekend. So I did watch those. Always got to keep an eye out on people coming for the throne. Um,
Yep, I
but
watched them as well.
but yep, definitely keep an eye out for those guys. And when they're ready to step up, your mama's favorites will be there to shoot them down.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I definitely watched that as well. I love their corner combo.
I love both of their corner combos.
Yeah, like and
The
there's
death straight chest kicks was good, and yeah, the handstand drop kick.
yeah, but that's
I don't know
are you
what to
talking
call
about?
it.
But aren't those technically the same corner combo? Because they did it all at once.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, oh yeah, I guess they did do it all at once.
I mean, they definitely like are smart and know how to utilize the count.
Yeah.
I'll get like that's one thing I'm gonna put over for those two. Those two are young. Wall's been wrestling a little bit longer doing the singles, but like they gelled as a tag team and
Yeah, they did. I believed them as a tag team.
and they knew how to bend the rules to their favor.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm gonna have to watch. We're gonna have to watch out for. We like to play by the rules.
Yeah.
They look like they like to bend the rules.
Yeah. Even when we're a little naughty, we usually still act within the rules. We're just like taking it right to the edge, but they're taking it like that next step, like right over the edge. Nothing super egregious, but just playing right outside the rules.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because that quarter combo they use the count, knock the guy off the apron.
I'm gonna say when Chucky was on the ground and they were jumping him for his money, and Yeti like kind of made that young guy mistake of trying to get in and help out, not being tagged. They were smart about not taking advantage of the ref's distraction and getting out. Those are small things that and I credit people who keep the legal guy in, and they didn't do the old switcheroo. They knew how to play it smart and not get caught cheating.
Yep, very good, very interesting.
Maybe we'll get them on the podcast one day and talk crap to them and let them know how much they all suck.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I also watched some Backwoods Brown matches.
Oh yeah, some Backwoods.
Yep, I watched him, Joey, and Ben in a triple threat.
Was that WPW?
Yeah, that one.
I want to say, if I remember right, that was his memorial match to his mom.
Maybe. Okay.
Because we were at a show. It was right when COVID was pretty much lightening up and shows were happening. I was at WPW and he was supposed to do a match and he got a call that his mom passed away at the show. So he ended up leaving to go see her, and then they did a special match and let him pick out guys he wanted in the match and just did a memorial match for his mom. So if that's the match I think it was he picked Joey and Ben for that, which was super cool.
I did watch a couple of him at GLCW, 2 matches from GLCW. I unfortunately cannot remember the opponents. One of them I had never heard of before, and one of them I did know, but I just can't remember right now.
I would assume the one you don't know is probably an OVW.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the other guy was an OVW guy. But good stuff. Just really watched a lot of local matches, then I guess you could say. So yeah, always have to know what's going on in your area.
So is there a reason why you picked Backwoods Brown? Are you trying to measure up with the heavyweights, or was it just something that popped up and you're ooh, I haven't watched him in a while?
It was really that I had not watched anything of him. Was going through some of the PWI and BWI, and he made it on the BWI this year. And I was just thinking, this is a guy that's in the state. We've been on shows together, but I don't think I've actually ever seen a match of his.
He is one that I worked only one time in a fatal 5-way, and I smacked the shit out of him 3 times in a row, but did not give a damn. But he's definitely one of those I always enjoyed having at shows. Always cool to talk to.
Yeah, always cool to talk to. Love Tiffany, always cool to talk to. But I just had that realization, I don't think I've ever seen one of your matches.
There's one, you gotta find it. He wrestled Gunner.
Yep. There was he had somebody had because he's been wrestling for a while, so there was a huge playlist of his stuff, and a lot of names that we've seen on the indies starting to blow up now when they were younger. So it was interesting. I didn't get to those, but yeah,
definitely cool. Definitely a random one, but definitely a cool one. Definitely a cool guy to watch. He definitely moves different than other big guys.
Yeah. So it was a fun watch. Yeah, it was just purely just realizing I don't think I've ever seen one of your matches, so I just want to check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've talked about what we've watched. We've talked about what we've done. Why don't we just get into the topic for this week?
Yes, sir.
All right. I posed a question. as the wrestling landscape changes and Trips is back in charge, who are you excited or intrigued or interested in seeing return to WWE? Um,
Yeah. You go first.
I mean, I'll go with my obvious choice. It's Malachi. For one, he did post that he's going through some things, but I feel like they had so many chances with him. His NXT run was great when he came in and they were doing the trios with him, Ricochet, and Ali. That was awesome.
I thought him and Ricochet were winning the belts like at Mania.
Yeah, it seemed like it was set up for that. I wouldn't be upset if they go back to that. Though they have been highlighting Ricochet as a single star. I do hope that I would love for Ricochet to be a Heyman guy.
Yeah, like everyone talks about his promos. What do you do with a guy who can't cut a promo?
You give him a
Give him
great
a mouth.
mouthpiece. And in Lucha Underground, when he had Conan, that was like some of his best work. Conan as his mouthpiece.
I was going to pick Malachi as well. I'll just jump on one thing with it. I hope if he does show up to WWE, I hope however he does, he just rises from the ground, like laying there and comes up.
Yep. Have the call back to his NXT entrance.
I think you bring back that entrance. That entrance was so
Yeah. I
freaking
mean, yeah,
cool.
bring back the whole thing. I'm down with it. It's like one of the best entrances they've done.
Yeah, like I remember when they took that away, I was just like,
yeah.
this is one of those like you knew that was getting taken away when he went to the main roster.
Yeah, I mean
like,
that was when they left Full Sail. Like I don't know how, because it's one of those things. Like they always did I don't know the difference between them doing the trampoline for Ray for his old entrances and like how complicated that is to put together compared to the rising coffin for Malachi.
I mean, like I saw like they have like a video on YouTube where like Gray is like the trampoline is just like a metal platform that they used like a little hydro plank just to pop up,
Mm-hmm.
and the momentum got him the height that he needed.
Yeah. So
Like just a
I
little
don't know
bar.
I don't know the difference in like the construction for how difficult that is to take on the road, but if they could, man, I'm all for his entrance coming back. Another person, because I what I noticed is that we keep hearing about these AEW guys coming back, but I think the most important name to come back will be Heath Slater.
Is he unfulfilled the prophecy? Is that what he's gonna do?
He's like, you gotta know, people, if you do that, people, if you bring him back, people will start to get hype about that.
And if he does win the world title,
Like, can you imagine the pop?
you gotta have Drew McIntyre and Jinder come out though.
Yeah,
And
like,
like then they gotta do that stupid thing and they all got air guitar together.
oh
Like,
yeah,
come on, man.
like, because that's the thing, Heath looks good. Like, he hasn't
That's the
been,
prophecy, man. Like
yeah,
they all left like looking kind of bad. Like McIntyre didn't look great. Jinder was getting like fat again.
yeah,
They were
but
all looking bad. Heath was looking bad. Jinder came back vascular as hell. Drew McIntyre came back looking bigger than ever.
and
And
Heath
Heath
looks
is looking.
good. Heath looks good.
I mean,
I wouldn't say he has the like massive body change that they've had, but he looks good.
I would say like even like I know it sounds bad, but even just that cheap win where he has the title for like a week or two, like that's just enough to
He
have
would
that
still
book.
get you would still get your return. You
That's
would
what I'm
still,
saying. Like even like a week reign, like would still like just like everyone's gonna talk about 3MB, the prop like they would have to make sure to say the prophecy fulfilled, like some stuff like that. Like
they would, but I'd
I
be
mean
so hype.
I would too. Like I don't know if he's the guy to beat Roman, but if there's guys like that finally take the belt off Roman and like I don't know if he's the guy to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the guy. I think you saved that. I
Uh,
still don't know who's the guy.
my prediction on the guy is still Cody Rhodes.
Cody makes a lot of sense now, only because Cody's one of the last ones left.
Yeah, that's like the obvious choice, and like we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
But for my two, one that I think everyone talks about, everyone keeps talking about with all these match graphics appearing, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
I saw an interesting thing where it was like, what happened if like all of his like puppets were actually characters who came back to WWE who were let go? They were talking about Karrion Cross being, I forget, being the
Probably the
Vulcan.
rabbit because of the Lucha Underground thing.
Yeah, the rabbit, Scarlet being the witch, Braun being the pig, and then I think it was Dexter Loomis as the buzzard.
Mm.
But they were talking about that. But I mean, they like Bray. I think knows what he's doing. He knows. I think he's just gonna come back to wrestling eventually. Just he's like knows he's probably the most
Like I
anticipated.
feel like they're giving him as much creative control as he can for his comeback because that's another one where you're gonna immediately get your return on his comeback.
And that's a guy who, if like you bring back and like he's doing his thing, like I could see Malachi popping up like from the ground or rise up against him.
That was definitely a match I had wanted to see.
And then if Malachi rises up and Bray does have this ultimate faction, another guy who I'm kind of curious about who also has similar thing to Malachi is Buddy Matthews just announced that he's taking a break and he
Yeah,
wants to relax and it's not it's not goodbye, it's see you later. But I mean Buddy Matthews was high on Triple H's list and like he's a
yeah,
guy who should have been.
yeah. He was good. He was good. And him and Malachi had some wars. And as a tag team, they're great. I do appreciate Brody coming out and like I'm still here.
I appreciate that.
We're
I
big
mean
Brody King fans on this podcast.
I don't see I feel like Trips is super. I'm not calling him Trips. I feel so weird. I'm not like his guy. It's like those guys who call people by their name, and you're like, "Why are you doing
Yeah, he
that?"
don't know who the fuck I am.
They I call him Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Levesque.
Yeah, I'm trying to get hired. uh, no, but I think Triple H is smart and watches the other product. He's not dumb.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting if Malachi and Buddy Matthews are both kind of like on the outskirts of leaving AEW. That's like what everyone's predicting and trying to get back to WWE. Do you think like they like if they with the good chemistry they had, the reaction they had with Brody King, like
Well, the thing is, Malachi and Brody have been a tag team well before this in PWG.
that
So
wasn't like that was not what like I mean they like before they got to AEW was when they PWG like when they first won the belts. I thought when they first tagged, everyone just like oh it made sense. Did they tag before that?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. I could be
yeah,
wrong. Yeah.
yeah, they had tagged before that. They
Well,
had
again,
tagged
then like
before Malachi got signed.
so like yeah, even then like I just don't see how like you know when you hear if you watch that pop that all three of those guys get. And like I hate to say it because I'm a big Buddy Murphy fan, Matthews fan. He's like the least significant one of the three. I think he's still like a big presence, but like
Yeah,
I think if like you have like a Wyatt, like Bray Wyatt having like his own army, and like Malachi does come back, and Buddy Matthews comes back. If you have Brody King pop out of nowhere, the pop that gets,
yeah, that
and then
he's
he
an
has
impressive specimen to look on. My only thing is if Brody does stay by himself, I have seen Brody as the leader of factions, and I like Brody as the leader of factions.
yeah, it wasn't it like the violent one. What was it called?
Yeah,
Violent.
and ROH he had a faction, and on New Japan Strong he had a faction, and they were both good for different reasons.
Yeah, I agree. I would like
He
that.
had the Regal twins in New Japan where they were just trying to look like Brody, and it was hilarious. And then yeah, he had Tony Deppen, Homicide, and
Chris Dickinson.
Chris Dickinson in ROH, and that was just yeah, like fucking violent as fuck, and that was good.
Yeah, like, I mean, I definitely think Brody will be fine on his own. I'm just thinking like he's kind of like a player where if you saw him in WWE, especially like if you have Brody face off against Braun or something like just like
My
that
worry is
face off.
I don't know if Brody's how tall if Brody is WWE tall is my only worry.
I don't think it matters. Triple H is like I think Triple H like
I mean, no,
oh,
no, Triple H is like that, but I just worry for those moment shots.
yeah, I get that, but I think he's pretty tall. I think he's a tall guy. I think he's like six
He is a
seven,
tall
6.
guy. I've stood
Yeah.
next to him. He's a tall guy, but I just don't. I've never stood next to Braun. I've never stood next to some of those other guys.
You didn't get on that GLCW show, controlling the narratives.
I mean, like, so I WWE guys I've stood next to. Titus and Sheamus. He's bigger than Sheamus.
So like you just have to look up to see if Sheamus had a match with Braun, see how they compare.
He'll pair, yeah. I would say he's
Uh,
bigger than Sheamus.
I still think he's a big monstery guy. So
No,
like
he
that,
is a big monstery guy, but
yeah, so that face off, I
it's
think. But I
just
agree. Like I think like if we talk about too these guys who are like kind of unsatisfied at AEW, and that was one thing like people talked about. That's no secret that AEW signed a lot of people.
so
Like that
here's
was
here's my thing I kind of alluded to. So they are just in the position that WWE was in a couple
like a
years
couple of
ago.
years ago, yeah, when WWE was
So
picking up Kevin Owens and like every guy who had like some type of buzz, like the next
yep,
day you see him on the recruitment page.
nope, yep. All the local indie guys that they picked up, that ended up being let go. So now AEW is in that position. But if Trips is in charge and he starts bringing back all his guys, that just creates the same problem. And now AEW has a smaller roster, but now they can give more time to guys like Sean Spears.
Yeah, that's what I was about to go with. Like if these guys leave and go to WWE and like all that, like with Triple H being their guys, like yeah, Sean Spears gets an opportunity. Miro might like if he doesn't decide to go back, Miro gets
Yeah.
opportunity
And,
more.
and people are like, Miro's been treated poorly. Miro's been treated great. He was a great TNT champion.
Yeah, and like I think they just use him sparingly. They don't like use him as much as everyone wants. I think the problem is they don't use him. He's on TV as much as everyone like him to be. But like that's the thing. I kind of like it. Like when Miro comes, people know it's like, oh shit,
Shit,
Triple
yeah. Like it's
back
an
too.
event. Like I would not say to the same level of a Brock Lesnar, but in that like spectrum of if Miro's here, like shit's going down.
Yes, yes, and then yeah, I mean, I would say like I don't think WWE is going to take all their guys back. I don't think it's going to be possible. I think some of the guys were some of those guys who were Triple H guys, no matter how close they were tainted by what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think WWE and AEW could work out. If the I
Yeah,
think
like
it
I don't think FTR is going to come back.
no FTR's not gonna. I don't think Swerve's going to come back either.
Yeah, I don't think Swerve will come back.
I listened to podcast with Jericho, and he like even like talked about how he walked up to Triple H and said, "I want to be your guy." And he said like he's like just something Triple H didn't see in him. Like that's one thing. Like he's like I
Yeah,
can't, you have
and he
Swerve,
said that
Swerve,
Steph. He was a Steph guy too. Steph was in love with him.
yeah, and Shawn Michaels was just
Yeah, so like, but I don't see him coming back.
yeah, but I do see him. I do see like if WWE gets a few of these guys back, like it might be opportunity on both ends for both guys.
Yeah. So it'll be very, very interesting in the next year or so to see how the landscape settles.
The only thing is, like, is WWE like gonna like, are we gonna get like a bunch of like surprises like competing against surprises?
Well, I don't know because we see how they seem to be handling Bray Wyatt. Because like
On the right.
we've had surprises already, and there's still those that we know are waiting in the wings.
So here we go. Here's how it goes down. Like AEW had their surprise with Page. WWE bust out a surprise with Bray Wyatt, the big one. Blah blah blah. Later down the line, AEW has another guy sign a big surprise. Malachi comes back with Buddy Matthews, huge surprise. One more big surprise by AEW. Heath Slater comes, wins the bell his time, and then AEW FTR in the middle of the ring saying like, "Screw it, we're putting all the straps up here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're tired of this BS." And then you hear hot shit, and then the surprise of
that's
them all,
that's
and then
the
we just like,
happy ending that wrestling deserves.
and then everyone yelling, "Take a whiff." FTR has no idea what's going on. They try to body slam Doc and realize Doc's a heavyweight. Air buddies on a Cash Wheeler because Dax has been putting in the work. Sorry, Cash, you're gonna have to take the pin. Doc comes to the craziest, most suicidal dive ever. Literally almost kills himself just because he realized in the whole match he didn't have a clip for that yet. So
Yep.
him and Dax makes it look super good while I pin Cash Wheeler. And then we hold up the AEW because at this point FTR won them because it's years down the line. And we're holding up the AEW, the Ring of Honor. Impact because I'm just gonna throw that in there. AAA and
Yeah, they
New
haven't won the
Japan.
Impact titles yet, have they?
No, that's something I feel like they need to do, and
Yeah.
that's when they're that's probably one that on their goal to do. But at that point, their goal's been achieved. But then we just do it all in one night,
True. Oh,
and
but
then the
no, I
graphic
think
pop, and then the graphic pops up on the screen. Country is all elite, and we're like, here we are.
we finally made it. Um, no, but yeah, wrestling is super interesting right now.
I do wish I had cable.
Yeah, that would be good. Luckily, I steal enough passwords. um,
I have like no passwords for anything like AEW. Like my knowledge is whatever I see on clips, and if I can find like the matches on YouTube.
fair, fair.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, shout out to grandparents who still pay for cable.
that's
Oh, yeah, that's it.
pretty
Shout out to
nice.
grandparents who haven't cut the cord.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
We
we appreciate.
appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we talk about what we got coming up this weekend? Because we got some miles on the cars.
Yes, sir. We went from a weekend off to kicking off this weekend early on a Thursday night. Freelance Academy. We've been there a few times. Making it a regular, trying to make it a regular thing to go once or twice a month. Travels. I think it's like an hour and a half drive for me. How long is it for you, Doc?
Like between 2 and 2.5, just depends on traffic.
One of those things that kind of stink, but we'll yeah. So going to travel down to freelance. They have Chris Hero seminar. Going to see get to finally meet Chris Hero. We'll get to learn from him. Everyone talks so highly of him, like he's been around everywhere. He's around the end of Ring of Honor. He was one of the bookers back there. He was a guy I pitched. Like for those who didn't know, he was a guy I pitched to be in the original Shield. Like this guy obviously knows what he's doing, has an impact, and like going to be a great seminar to do. And he's a guy who believes in luscious locks,
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
great beards, and great hair.
Definitely. Your forgotten father. And then Friday we go to make our debut for Rugged Pro in Marshalltown, Iowa.
And
Um,
anyone paying attention to the list that our goals are, we and Doc have both debuted in Texas. We both debuted in North Dakota this year. Doc debuted in Missouri. And we're now going to debut in Iowa. So for us, that state counts. That's a
this
wait.
is a debut for you in Iowa. I have done
Yeah,
Iowa.
Doc's done Iowa. Yep. That's we always talk about. I was like, wait, there's one because we break even
Yeah,
somewhere. But yeah,
yeah. This is where we
Doc,
break even.
this is where we break even. So Doc is now right now his total count of this year is three new states out of the five. And this Friday I make my third state out of the five on the list.
Yes, sir. So we will be at Marshall. Yeah, we'll be in Marshalltown, Iowa. About a 3.5 hour drive from my place. Debuting for Rugged Pro. Shout out to Austin out there. We will be up against the Apocalypse, which is Seto Kabara and the Carver of Cutter's Alley. Um, Carver is a guy that we've shared, that we've had the displeasure, the nightmare, maybe, of sharing locker rooms with. Um, Definitely an evil being for the out of town shooters to put down.
Dude,
Um,
Carver's the type of guy who like no one knows, but at the Insane Eight, I forgot who had a pull off. I think it was Jeff King who had a pull off, and Carver just messaged like ICW like, out of the blue, he's like, hey, I'm gonna be in town, so if you need me to kill people, let me know. And like they're like, actually, we just had someone pull off the deathmatch tournament, and like Doc and I had the weekend off, and like I don't really want to have a weekend off and be like, oh, now I gotta go wrestle in glass. And this guy's like, yeah, if you need me to like go roll around glass and use my axe to chop
yeah,
heads
if
off, like,
you oh, do you need me to be in one of the biggest death matches tournaments in the US? Totally, no problem, bro.
I'm here for you
Yeah,
and to kill people.
yeah. So it'll be good. Yeah, excited for this one. I'm excited for Rugged. Always excited to be in a new place. Excited to Carver is a guy that, like I said, yeah, been in locker rooms with, would have thought of this match before. So it'd be a nice one to knock off the list.
Yes, sir. Debut and all that. Like you said, Carver's guy who's on both our list. The fact that he does tags gonna be interesting. I feel like I said, oh, I was an idiot. I thought the show was at midnight. Thank God it's not. It's just at the Midnight Ballroom for those in that area. Every time I saw the Midnight Ballroom, I was just like, "Does this show start at midnight?" Like,
Yeah, that
please
would be
no.
awful.
I want to get home at least at a decent time Saturday before we have to go to our show Saturday night, which is
Yes.
I think Doc's first singles match all year.
Uh,
No, not your first singles match all year.
no, because I did a 4-way.
And you also wrestled Yeti and like
Yep,
a
I
couple guys
wrestled
that just
Yeti. Yep. I had that one weekend you weren't there. Yeah, yeah. So this is like my fifth, maybe.
yeah, but we'll be at Zawa Live, not tagging right now.
Zach needs to get his head straight.
I mean my head's fuzzy. Definitely feels like a door hit me in the face, but I'm just right now trying to put in the work for us, you know. Sensei is not too happy with you, but with my how I've been excelling at the dojo, he's definitely still has geese for both of us.
Yeah. So Saturday, Zawa Live. Who do you think you are? I am. It'll be down in Sterling, Illinois, where I'll be taking on Master Charles Bates. This will be
Debuting Master Charles
yeah,
Bates.
debuting Master Bates. I have wrestled Chucky 50 billion times, but this will be my first matchup against Master Charles. I'm expecting Liquid Sword to the face for the win. He's expecting, I don't know, Tartar or some shit. I don't know.
I have no
This
idea.
is a new thing.
I don't know what's going on with Chucky. It seems
Yeah.
like he has a concussion. Seems like he's not thinking straight. Like I don't get what's going on with him.
Yeah, I
Like,
seem to be surrounded by these situations lately.
like no, but it's like weird, man. Like a change of personality, something out of the blue. Like he's trying to act all exquisite. Like definitely something you don't see every day with
Yeah.
like, especially around me and you.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that, but it'll be a country boy up.
Country boy up. I'm predicting a country boy sweep because I'm taking on a senior of his own dojo, Wab Ming, one member of Theory of what was it? Asian what?
Theory of Asian Unity.
There we go. Theory of Asian Unity. One half of that, me versus Wab Ming. This is a first singles match against him. I have wrestled him in a triple threat when CJ Cole wanted to join the dance, and I was able to get the victory on that night, and hoping to get the victory again. I could predict maybe a bottle opener for the finish, or been working on that crane kick, so the crane kick might get landed.
I pray to God not. And then Sunday we will be doing the grind where we'll be in Chicago Heights helping out with Warrior Wrestling. I believe this is their return show. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's their they just got off of Stadium Stampede, I want to say, where they do all the shows in the football field, but this one's going to be indoor somewhere. A lot of big names on the show. There's guys who were on the pre-show who did a grind, who's been doing the grind for Warrior, who now are on the show, gained their match graphics, gained their comeuppance, and
Yep, shout out to Jordan Cross.
yeah, I mean, Jordan Cross was there when I did the pre-show, and Jordan wasn't picked that day. I was selected, and I did the pre-show in a six-man tag. But since then, Jordan's been on the pre-show consistently, wrestling consistently, getting on the main card, and he has a big match against Sam Beal. And that's a guy who legit did the grind. So I'll give credit where credit's due. And yeah, and we're going to try to do the same. They at least know who we are. No guarantee we'll get on the show, but we don't expect to get on the shows. We expect to earn any opportunity we get. So there's opportunity to be grabbed. We will try to earn it, but we don't get on if it's not today. There's always tomorrow.
Yep, this is the grind. This is the work we do. All right, brother. I think it's about time we wind down. Do you have any final thoughts or questions?
I mean, this is a moment where Perch was here. We'd be hearing about Perch bringing up something that we haven't talked about, and that's Muda showing up
Yes.
at AEW. Like, it
Yes.
just feels weird, like not to bring it up, but like this is
Yes.
like
I kept thinking about it, but forgot to bring it up when we talked about what we watched.
yeah, it was one of those things. I texted Doc. We have a group chat. with like Perch in it, and I was like, I was gonna text it in the group chat, but I was like, man, this is just something like I don't want no hints for Perch like or nothing because he doesn't like spoilers. But I texted Doc and I was like, AEW was designed for Perch tonight. Like
Yeah.
Muda coming out is just wild as all be. Um, it's crazy. Like I was just thinking the other day, over the weekend, I was like, man, does Perch predict this shit? Like, because he's super hyped on Muda for a long time. Triple H is now CEO, and Muda just shows up at AEW. Like, Perch is out here doing the Simpsons work of predicting things.
Yeah, yeah. What Perch likes comes true right now. Yeah. So shout out to Muda. Sting will be heading over to Noah for his final match. Super excited for that one. It'll be good.
Yeah, super pumped. Yeah,
And for me, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Send your well wishes and best of lucks and stay safe to Perch doing the thing across the pond. Um, Follow us on all social medias. Tell promotions to book us because we want to come wrestle or ref in front of you. This has been the Take It On podcast. Y'all be easy. One.